If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you should be, because everybody that does has already seen what I'm about to show you guys. But for everybody that does not follow me on Instagram, we have some good news. In the last video, you guys saw us trying to get this thing running for so long. We were literally filming us fighting with this thing for so long. Like, we literally took the plugs out at one point and only one cylinder was actually igniting. The rest of them were dry. And we were just so confused, we couldn't figure it out. And then as we enriched it, it finally started running a little bit better. And then the next morning, Nick called me and it literally ended up that I had given him some wrong information. So he said, "What map sensor are you running?" And I said, "It's from a K24. But when I said it's from a K24, he understood it as a stock K24. What actually happened was it's a 4-bar map sensor from a K24, but I never said that. I just said K24, so the map he gave us was for a stock map sensor. So the whole time, this thing wasn't even reading any error because 4 bars is way higher than stock. So it was literally not computing anything, and we were giving it so much fuel to compensate for the fact that it was misreading something. So after Nick called me and told me that, I came out here, I switched the settings on the Honda, put it to a 4-bar map sensor, put the injectors back, and this is what happened. Which is perfect, so it means that we didn't actually mess anything up. There's no real issue yet that we found, at least with this car. And this thing may not be running like $1 million, but if it can at least run, it can move itself under its own power and I don't have to push it around anymore, I'm not gonna push it around anymore. This is about as permanent as it looks. I really want to get one of the ones that K20 makes that literally just bolts straight onto the top of this. Like, the reservoir is just where this hose goes. But they're out of stock on them right now. But in order to keep making progress with this car, we're gonna need to do something here. So I just kind of, I'm gonna come over here and crack this bleeder screw, and you, my friend, are getting leg day. Here, pump it. Let me have a feel here. This is so awkward.
It is, it's the worst.
I've been trying to get this ready so I could drive it in. And I'm just now realizing I don't even know how I'm supposed to do that. That's interesting feeling. Oh, no! That's such an aggressive clutch.
What's happening?
Why is this my life? What's happening? I don't know. Today's not going good. I'm giving it one more try, and then I'm going inside to eat lunch if it doesn't work. Do it. I can't do it. I can't see and give it gas at the same time. Oh.
You know what we should do?
We should eat lunch.
And get a seat.
A seat won't help. I need lunch. Okay, I ate some lunch. Got my muscles. I pushed this stupid thing back in here. Plus side of everything that happened though, clutch is bled and is working, engaging properly. Like, when I put the clutch in, I can put it in gear, no grinding or anything. And it moved itself under its own power. Which are 2 positives. Like, that's 2 good things that happened today. Normally my videos have like a really clear point. Like, I wake up and I'm like, I'm gonna do this today and we're gonna film it. Today's not like that. I have just so much stuff, like, leftovers to do, and I've been racking my brain trying to figure out if it's entertaining or not. But you guys always comment and you say, "Robbie, we just want to watch whatever you do and we just want to hang out." Today we're hanging out. This thing's actually the most important thing I'll probably do today, because I gotta tuck this wiring harness and maybe some other wiring. Oh dude, look at this shortcut. Nice! I thought I was gonna have to go through the engine bay for this boy. Terrible ground, but they should do to test it. Yeah, baby, we got lights! Let's test the old. Oh, something funky's happening. 1 turn signal over here. And we don't have a turn signal over here. I thought this was a brand new bulb. Oh yeah, oh no, it definitely blew up right there. The eBay lights, dude. Sitting on a shelf and they exploded. All right, little wiring trick that you guys can do if you're trying to loom some wires or try to keep them like super clean or nice looking. Instead of going out and buying like a loom, like a plastic loom that's just gonna end up like crisping and exploding and dying, I'm gonna go ahead and give Brad credit for this one because he was the first person I ever seen actually do it. Literally just go buy a roll of hockey tape. Doesn't even have to be nice stuff. It's just literally any hockey tape. Hockey tape makes one of the cleanest little DIY looms of all time. Dude, this looks so much better. I didn't even do a really nice job. I just like a medium job because it's gonna be inside and I'm gonna see it, but like so much cleaner. In here might look the same to you guys, but in person, dude, this is cleaned up so much better. So we had like some temporary grounds going up to here and some weird things going on when we were trying to get the engine going. So I actually took the starter cable, which was routed like all the way around here, and I just kind of like nicely put it up there. That's the best I get it to do. It's kind of like a big boy. I think the OEM one's actually a little bit smaller, but regardless, it's up, it's tucked out of the way. I got it right here. It's zip tied to the alternator cable, and then they could run back. And I just loomed them and this tuck harness together, so when it comes out, it just kind of looks like one. When it's all clean and there's no more sand, this will like super nicely just kind of blend together. I also tucked that ground that was coming up to here. I tucked it right around the back. You can see it goes in right here and goes to the valve cover underneath this, so you don't see it at all. I tucked all the extra wiring for the harness that was just kind of like hanging out here that we didn't need. And I went ahead and I tucked the entire harness, like comes out that side of the car, comes all the way around and goes back in this side. You guys can see it kind of like runs here. I use these little tabs for zip ties, which is actually super helpful because it brings it like up way past the height of the tire. Slunk it through just a little bit, and I did put like a little bit of tape on just to clean up the harness where you could see it, but honestly, you guys can't even like see it at all. Like there's literally, whatever you can see there is all you can see. It came up pretty nice, and then the hood thing too. And to get it in the car, I literally just cut a little bit out of this thing. I know it's not perfect, but it's gonna do what it needs to do. Got my little bag of hardware, fenders, hood, lights, and bumper. I guess it's time for fenders, hood, lights, and bumper. Front end is done, dude. It's completely put back together. Everything is solid. Like, when was the last time this car looked like this? Months ago. Everything in here is good, loomed, ready to go. I say that with like a grain of salt because obviously put like a AEM gauge in the downpipe, attach the downpipe to the exhaust and stuff like that. But as far as tidying, okay, I'm trying to make progress where like we do our last tweaks and had it done. I was even thinking about it, and I have the short hub for this where I was gonna put like an aftermarket steering wheel in this car, but honestly, with this stupid grip thing on it, I honestly like it. Like I think this is such a vibe for this car. Once we get a full interior in here and just like a disgusting old steering wheel with a steering wheel cover on it that says Honda, like as if you didn't know you were driving a Honda, it just adds to like the when you look at it and you go, wow, what a piece of shit. And I like it. I'm leaving it that way. My goal is to have it look like a teenage kid owns this car. Like we have like nice brand new headlights, we're gonna have nice wheels, we have nice taillights, we have an ABS wing that isn't painted, and then you're gonna be able to see and also hear the exhaust. But it's gonna look like just some kid's car, and then it's just gonna spank people. Courtney will not stop nagging me to clean out the back of this car. I don't wanna clean it out. It's just not something I feel like doing right now. I was trying to find anything else in the world to do today. But once it's done, it's done. And then, you know, that teenage boy's car is almost ready to go on the dyno. Dude, that looks so cool. Well, obviously I'm gonna have to clean it up a bit, make it look a little bit better. It'll work. When we get there, we're gonna be good. For now, we just gotta deal with the rest of the wiring in this car. Dude, this actually looks so cool. So this piece is like fully secured as much as it can be, I guess. There's not really anywhere to put all this hardware. There's supposed to be like little brackets here and here. So I only have hardware up at the front, and then this piece kind of like clips in the back here. I don't know, man. Something about like how you can see a sneak peek of what's really cool. I debated cutting this out so you could see the K20 sticking out of the bottom, but we all know it's there. For you guys that have like a car that this will go inside of and you leave it exposed, it's obviously gonna look way better than it does in my car, but that's the whole point. Like, we're trying to be kind of slippery with it. So I was looking up there, I'm like trying to figure out what we're gonna do with this giant hole. Because I have this cup holder piece, but obviously like that's not gonna fit in there. But the cup holders look like they come off if we could hide it as much as possible. All right, so that's the cup holder piece off, which honestly is fine because it's broken and it doesn't latch. And then the one time it does latch, it doesn't come back up. You have to break it open with a screwdriver. That would have sat like this because the cup holders go on the bottom. Back together and cleaned up. And then dude, I was just looking, so like this thing came out all by itself. There's not a clip left on it. It was basically just resting there the whole time. But I was looking at that hole and I'm like, that would be a nice hole for a gauge. Like a lot of people do custom stuff down there in this little thing, but like it's so hard to see down there. I feel like it's too far down. Like when you're driving, you gotta look all the way down, and if your like hand is in the way, I don't know. I have a couple of these ADD. These are the guys that make my catch cans and all that kind of stuff. Really good products. I've never used their gauge holders before, but they always send me some when I get stuff. They're pretty basic. They're just like a dash stick-on type piece. I think you can actually bolt it on depending on where you put it. Nice, that's what I'm talking about, baby. I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with other gauges. If I get other gauges, I might try one of those ones that has like a multi-function. I've never had one of those before, but they're pretty cool. They only need the one gauge. It's super clean. I want one in the BRZ also because I don't like having gauges in that car. I like it clean. And now we have more wires on the floor, which is just sweet. Boys, I got carried away doing all the stuff that in like all the videos, and I tell you guys like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, we'll take care of that, and then like we don't take care of it. I just spent so long taking care of all of those stupid little things that I always say I'll take care of. And before I show you, we have a final test. Dude, I'm not even gonna try and tell you that that went really well, but like that was the first time I moved that car under its own power more than like 6 inches. This is also the first time the clutch has been working, and I don't know if you guys can hear like terrifying sound, but I put in a brand new throw bearing. I'm not entirely sure what that sound could even be. It's only when I press in the clutch, but it's terrible. Terrible, and it's supposed to be a brand new throw bearing, so I'm not entirely sure. But aside from that, dude, look at this thing. It's like, as far as togetherness, this car is back together. You can look at this thing and be like, yo, that's a car now. Aside from even all the things that you guys saw me do, I went around, I told you guys like the hood didn't work, so I fixed the hood. The hood actually latches now. You gotta come around, when you pop it, it opens like it should. And in here, I told you guys I tucked a bunch of wires, did a bunch of stuff. You guys see me do that. But like the bumper is fully clipped on, everything, headlights are bolted, fenders are bolted. I did a bunch of stuff, like I went around and like these bolts that come through the floor here, on the underside, they weren't actually tight. So when you move the shifter, you used to lift it up and down a little bit. I went around, put all those back, so now you can do this. Nothing moves at all, which is super minty. We got our gauge in, which outside, huge fan of the gauge. I basically like cleaned everything up, wiped everything down. Oh, in here, I cut most of the glove box away. I mounted the ECU up here. I know you could have mounted the ECU down where the other one was, but it's a completely different shape and size, and it just, in my opinion, it didn't fit very well, so I just said, whatever. We're already basically donating this to the fuse box that we're putting in here, so why not just cut it open? And then I left the one side. I basically cut the whole thing, except this one side, so that when you open it, it doesn't like fly down to the floor. And you can still, whatever, use it. Like, you still put like papers and, which is nice. All these wires are probably gonna be necessary at some point, so I'm not gonna bother chucking them because they have to do with the Honda, and I for one. Don't want to dig them out after I tuck them really nice. The interior, 100% put back together. We got back seats, we got front seats. This is looking killer, dude. Outside, the lighting is even better for you guys. It just looks so good. You look at this thing and you're like, what a freaking turd nugget this car is. But if you get down low, you can see just, a little intercooler hiding. And then if you come around, you look in, you see, something sneaky's going on. I don't know why, I usually like to make my stuff really nice, but this car bone stock, absolutely bone stock, just with the gauge and that shifter, 100% does it for me. And I put the rear bumper back on, dude, so the car's like, feel like I definitely did some more stuff that I just forgot to tell you guys about, but it's been a long, long day of just cutting stuff, making stuff work, making messes. Oh yeah, my drain plug wasn't tight, I found that out. It was dripping oil everywhere, so I tightened it. And I have a mystery piece. I don't know what this does. Literally no idea where this came from. I couldn't find it. I put the whole interior back together and this piece was just not necessary, so it's just still here. That's gonna be all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys are excited to get this thing on the dyno. We're like probably, like I said, probably one remote tuning session where he can figure out what the hell is going on with it. And ideally not taking my transmission back out, but maybe taking my transmission back out away from getting a tune. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed.